Cherokee Creek is a man's Bigfoot movie. It's got gore, women, and it doesn't censor a thing. For better or for worse. At just under 2 hours long, it sounds like they might have quite the story to tell. So, let's dive right in and see if you should watch Cherokee Creek. First off, it sets the mood with two guys out hunting Bigfoot around Cherokee Creek. They set up some rules right off the bat. The main one being don't pee, poop, or, don't drop any body fluids in the woods at all. Because Sasquatch is out there and he'll find you. Of course, this bumbling idiot does just that and is quickly killed. Man, he dropped the bottle, then like 2 seconds later, Bigfoot was there. Can he teleport? The other guy tries to get away, but yeah, our boy never leaves survivors. Now we see three guys in a van. There's Jinx, Vinny, and Jarrett. They're really raunchy, talking about women and bragging about their sex lives. If you're into that kind of stuff, well, then you're in for a treat. Because that's only a little taste of what's to come. Anyway, what's going on here? Why are these guys sitting in a van? Well, it'll all come clear soon enough. They wait for the coast to be clear, then jump out, break into this guy's house, and scare him so bad he passes out while taking a dump. Ew. Well, they load this guy up into their van and make their getaway. Who is he? Some rich business owner who will pay him millions to let him live? Is he in the mafia and he owes these guys some money? Well, no, it's nothing like that. Surprise! It turns out that this is all just a prank to give this guy the bachelor party of a lifetime. Yeah, he was never in any danger. His fiancée, Caroline, was even in on it. But she has some rules. No booze and no strippers. Other than that, have fun camping in Bigfoot territory. That's actually just fine with the bachelor, whose name is Pat, by the way, because he loves telling Bigfoot stories around the campfire. This is a highlight of the movie for me personally, and you can tell they did their research. They talk about the Albert Ostman encounter and bring up the miners at Ape Canyon. But one guy, Chad, doesn't believe in any of it. We all know the kind of people in the world that don't believe in ghosts, UFOs, or anything paranormal. You know, a real Chad. Well, after arguing for a minute, Pat gives him a piece of his mind and knocks him out cold. They work on getting Chad into a tent to sleep it off when the park ranger shows up.
What the hell are you boys doing out here?
That's not good. They play it off like Chad just had too much to drink and he passed out, but she doesn't really care about that. These guys are on restricted property. At first, Jinx tries to bribe her, but when that doesn't work, he moves on to telling her that Vinny Blades is with them. Apparently, Vinny is a movie star, and all the ladies love him, and the park ranger is no exception, having him sign her chest. She sits down and joins the boys around the fire when they see something in the woods. Is it Bigfoot? Aliens? No, it's the strippers Jinx hired for the party. So they just broke every rule Caroline gave them. No booze and no strippers. Jinx goes to pay the bouncer, Brick, and all I have to say about him is I wouldn't want to run into him in a dark alley. The dude is huge. They all go back to the fire and party for a bit, and I can't show you any of it. Just take my word, there's a lot of boobs bouncing around. Chad wakes up during all of this and decides that it's the perfect way for him to get his revenge. So he records Pat dancing with the girls, and he uploads it to social media. We hop over to Caroline, who's enjoying herself, and she sees the video, which instantly triggers her. She uses a tracker she put on Pat's phone and speeds towards him. Back to the woods where Brick is taking a leak. Remember rule number 1? No body fluids in the woods. So he's taken out. A little bit later, Drew steps aside to take a pee, and he looks like he's about to get attacked too. But no, it's actually just an actor that they hired to dress up like Bigfoot to scare Pat. While the guys are all distracted with the girls in the woods, Chad gets out of his tent to ruin the guy's night by peeing in the cooler and all the tents. Suddenly, something throws a rock at him. He hides in the tent for a bit, but Caroline sets off Pat's alarm, trying to find him. So, in an attempt to hide out, he smashes everyone's cell phones. So, that's why they can never call for help throughout all this. For some reason, after smashing the phones, he runs off into the woods. And, yeah, he's a goner. Drew wanders around for a little bit, and really the only notable thing here is that right before someone dies, everyone thinks that it's the actor that they hired, and they're not in any danger, just for it to be the real Bigfoot. And yeah, that's all she wrote, man. Now, we're at the part of the movie where I'm guessing most people would have finally had enough and turned off the TV. And I'm pretty sure this is the reason why this movie got removed from Amazon streaming. The remaining survivors, mainly Jinx and Vinny, how do I say this? Enjoy their time with the strippers. I can't show any of this, and honestly, you wouldn't want to see it anyway. Just know that both girls are killed. Jinx loses body parts that would make him want to be killed, which he is eventually taken out anyway. It ends up being really just Patrick and Vinny now who are running for their lives. They make it back to the cars, but all the tires are flat, which I think was part of the guy's plan to scare Pat. I don't really know. Either way, the only car that they can use is Brick, the bouncers. So they go around, they find the keys, but Vinny's killed. Pat manages to shoot at the monster with a gun he found in the van, so that's good. On his way back to the car, he comes face to face with something truly terrifying. His fiancée. But Bigfoot is coming up on him. Caroline takes aim and fires at the creature, finally killing it. The police show up because earlier Caroline made it to their camp, and not seeing anyone, she called the cops. Anyway, they show up, listen to the couple's story, which he doesn't buy, but remember,
I just shot him. He's right
they
there.
have proof. Bigfoot's body. Well, you guessed it. It was the actor they hired in the Bigfoot costume. The real monster, still out there. And that was Cherokee Creek. The thing about it is that it follows the formula for a textbook Bigfoot movie. A bachelor party in the woods is the perfect setup in my opinion. The acting was actually not that bad. I wouldn't say that these guys are likable by any means, but I would definitely sit down and have a beer with them. And I thought the music was great actually. Very atmospheric, and it fit the mood. This is also one of the best looking indie Bigfoot movies that I've ever seen. For 99% of the movie being shot at night, the lighting wasn't actually that bad. They even had some good Bigfoot stories around the campfire, which I always like to see. But even with all of that going for it, I still cannot recommend Cherokee Creek to you. It's just too vulgar and crass for my taste. Now, I understand, it's a creature feature. I don't mind foul language every now and then, and a little nudity here and there isn't so bad. But this verges on straight up porn at times. And the way they talk about women makes me feel bad for these guys' wives. Also, 2 hours is just a little too long for the plot that we have here. I feel like a lot of the stuff should have been left on the cutting room floor. However, this is the movie that they wanted to make. There was no big producers, no big production companies to tell them no. Todd Jenkins, who played Jinx, and Billy Blair, who plays Vinny, made the movie that they wanted to make. So for that, I can respect them. But I still cannot recommend Cherokee Creek. Unless you like rude guy talk and male full frontal nudity, which, I mean, hey, to each their own, I guess. I give Cherokee Creek 1 kidnapping your friend out of 4.
There's this one story of a lumberjack who got basically just like captured by a whole family of Bigfoot.
Big feet.
And what?
Big feet. Family of big feet. Like when you don't say a bunch of mouses, you say a bunch of meese.